Team, what's happening? In this video, we're gonna tell you about our journey from Baltimore, Maryland to the great sand dunes of Colorado in our van as a family of 4.
All right, checked in. There's a nice new playground. So this is where we're staying. And we can walk right down to it right over here. This whole unit is positive.
Oh, that says positive, you're right.
That's negative back here. It's gotta be this.
All right, was able to pull the code E0605. Now I'm trying to troubleshoot to figure out what that code is. All right, I'm gonna try to reset the check engine light. Fill up the DEF fuel, make sure the gas cap is screwed on, check all the simple things, and hope that the last 2 to 3 hours was just a complete waste of time. They're Mercedes in Easton, and their next appointment is September 20th. If they get us in tomorrow to look at it, we're looking at minimum 3 to 4 days for it to get fixed. Okay. We have FIDA Freightliner. Their next appointment is on Friday. And she was very nice and said, maybe we can squeeze you in tomorrow. We're in Zanesville, Ohio. We're about 90 miles up the road.
In the right direction? Did he hook it up for you?
I did. I just figured it out.
He said no.
He's going to get a mechanic.
Oh, wow.
But a mechanic would be great because a mechanic out here would really help. It's like a little thing that we could reset as soon as it comes back on. Is that like frowned upon? Yeah, we're coming around. Okay, that'd be amazing. Because then I'm thinking if it's a serious issue, it's going to come back right back on.
Yeah. But if it's just a mission.
Red, yellow, and green, your favorite?
All right, Odd Squad.
What?
We have...
How do I take the lyrics off?
Keep your head up. That's good.
But how do I take the lyrics off, you know?
We have a NOx Sensor 1 circuit performance that was off. P2201 is our code.
Okay, I'm excited.
And our mechanic says it's nothing to worry about.
What? How do we get the light off?
He said when I start it back up, it should go off. So let's see. Let's see. Lights off. Should I go grab a diagnostic tool for 50 bucks?
What would that have done for us?
And we could have turned it off ourselves.
Yes.
It's green and yellow.
Yes, babe.
Feels good. So after we got the engine problem cleared up, we ended up at a beautiful location in New Paris, Ohio, just before the border to cross over to Indiana. Do you call it a border? Like
I think you call it a state line.
Just before the state line, cross over to Indiana. Crossing the border!
So this harvest host was something I found, today's harvest host, and it was beautiful. It was perfect for what we needed to pull off on the side of the road and have a quiet, safe place for just one overnight.
So a harvest host is membership fee you can sign up for, and there's different farms, wineries, small boutique places, or just driveways across the country that people let you stay in. So sometimes there's hookup, sometimes there's water, sometimes there's not. We really lucked out with this first one. We drove in, the people were beyond friendly, so we found this awesome swimming hole right down the road. So we jumped around in there, splashed around for a while, came back. It was hot, it was buggy, but as you can see, it was beautiful. They had a corn maze that he told me all about how it was made and the company they hired out. Went into the store in the morning, got fresh coffee, donuts, and the stay was good for what it was.
Right. Yeah, we didn't have hookup, we didn't have water, but a big patch of grassy land that we could just...
By hookup, just for any novices out there.
no electrical, so we couldn't physically plug in our van to provide us with electricity.
So we had to rely on the solar or all the power that we already had stored in the batteries, which is not horrible for us.
Yeah.
But the van is just really not equipped to be in that environment, is really the thing. Because we have no air conditioning.
Right.
So you can't just like kick it like you can in an RV.
Yeah, so we had to be outside, which is just hard because it's hot and buggy. But
made the best of it.
Yeah.
From today's harvest, we went deeper into Indiana, and we ended up at a state park that was called
Sunny Acres. It was hot, it was buggy, and when we pulled in, it was just spot after spot, no shade, nobody was there. It just looked dusty and dry, and we weren't sure how we were going to spend the rest of the day.
Allie hooked it up, got us over to the electrical side, so now we could plug our van in.
An electric site she's looking up now.
Mommy.
But for sure is after lunch, that was the naturalist. She said the nature center is open, it's AC, there's Wi-Fi, there's animals, there's like great stuff. So we'll definitely go over to the nature center. So we stopped, today we went around Indianapolis, this city, and we're like right here right now. So this is how much we've gone, and then we're gonna stay in Illinois tomorrow, which is this green part.
And where are we? So we're starting from here.
We're starting from here, Indianapolis. So that's our 70, 70, see? 70.
So we lucked out
Yeah,
there.
that was nice.
Ended up having a good night.
Yeah.
So we roll out from Indiana thinking, yes, we have another harvest host. Now remember,
Right.
unlike a state park, some don't have the amenities, you just don't know what you're gonna get. So here's some footage of us pulling up. All right, team, pulling up to Triangle H Farms, second harvest host location. We're not a four-wheeler vehicle.
The farm is, we're approaching, so the horse is right over here. Maybe. We have to ask them.
Harvest host spot 2. Had electrical. About 15 minutes off 70. It's probably about 90 degrees out. There is definitely nowhere to put the tent, at least not right here if we want to camp. It's sprinkling a little bit. And yeah, we got nothing to do with the kids for the next 6 hours. Let's see how this goes. What are you doing? Stories? Team, we just pulled up Horse Farm, and the plan is to stay here tonight. They do have an electric hookup behind us, so we could cook inside, get all that done, but we'd all be in the van with no AC. It's 90 degrees. Did I say that yet? And we're just a little bit like, yeah, I don't know if this is for us tonight. So we are going to look for some state parks close by, because maybe in the woods it would be cooler, and it would be better to just be out with a little more space and possibly be able to camp, set up tent so we could separate a little bit. So yeah, 2 o'clock, Horse Farm, middle of the day. We're gonna explore some other options.
Experience.
Definitely.
We saw no other vans out there like what we have. And already here in Colorado, we've seen a lot of vans like what we have. But when you're in the Midwest, yeah, it's no fun to be in a van, because like you just described, you want to be in somewhere that's air conditioned, that has space that you can be inside.
Hi, is this Can Do Campgrounds in St. Louis, Missouri? Yeah, we were looking for a 20 amp hookup site for tonight, if you have any availability. Oh, here we are. We have arrived. I'm excited.
A balmy 94 degrees.
Here.
We don't know. Look at that pool. It's calling your name. Woo! What a luxury. Only 2 peeps in there.
An hour down the road was Can Do Campground with a K, 2 Ks, Ken and Campground. And they had a saltwater pool, and that was a safe place to stay.
It was $20 for the night. It was like a lower end KOA, I would say, just in that it had laundry, it had showers and bathrooms, it had a pool.
So, rough night at Can-Do.
Was it?
It was a rough night.
Oh, that was.
We'll roll some
night.
footage
Yeah.
on how we felt that morning right now.
Well, we got a low spot. We don't want to be those people that are complaining.
Yeah.
All right, we're grateful to be out here. This has been awesome. The kids have been total road warriors. But then last night was just a kicker. It was so hot in the van. It was a little sloped here, so I said, we won't get out the tent tonight. We've been doing the tent, one of us in the tent. We just could not cool the van down. Our daughter woke up twice, sweaty, hot, discombobulated. You were in Anna's sleep because you were worried about everything.
This is just a hard time, and we're very optimistic that things will get better. But we're just trucking along right now, and kind of ill-equipped, to be honest. Like, we're not equipped properly to be camping in these conditions.
Thoughts on that?
Oh my god. Sorry, I thought that was a bug. It was a piece of wood.
This guy's car is driving by. If we see it behind us, it's unbelievably quiet. And he has AC. He's towing a big old thing.
So nice.
And he's in and out. He came in the evening, and he is leaving in the morning. And that's another thing we talk about. Like, we're hitting these 3-hour days, which is like sounded great on paper.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see these parks out there and do these great things. But it is molasses when you're trying to get out there. And the kicker to all this is Allie had some poison ivy. I got some poison ivy. We don't even know where we got it from. It was like a touch before we left. It's a huge patch on the back of my leg. So anyway, didn't cover it. Haven't been showering as much. Have been sweating a lot, working out, so it is just spread. Got some on my fingers now. Have some on other parts of my legs. So I'm trying to sleep. So wah.
Why not just throw in some poison ivy? I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun here in whatever state we're in.
Right.
90-degree temps.
All right, so we realized that was a downer, a bit of a downer. We realize we sound like that, and we do want to emphasize we're grateful. And the point we've talked about that we want to bring up is we are beyond grateful for this whole experience. And we know we're privileged to do this, but we had so much riding on this. We sold our house. We talked about this for almost 2 years, made this plan. So we're doing this thing, and we know it's not supposed to look like this. At least it didn't in our minds when we planned it all. But this is where we are with the kids in the Midwest. So it wasn't like, this is a 3-week trip, whatever, like toughen up. There was much more heaviness coming over us.
Yeah, we weren't talking about quitting or going back, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, did I totally romanticize this? And is it gonna be like this? Because it was not fun. It's not something that we could have sustained for long term.
We leave Can-Do defeated, as you can see. And that was our treat yourself night. Y'all, we are here. I would be lying if it didn't feel like a little bit of a failure. We did the hotel for the night, the Hilton Garden Inn. Everybody got some good, well-deserved rest. Yes, it was like our 5th or 6th night in, but 6th night in, but it helped us get over the hump.
Yeah, it did.
Driving through Kansas, that's a drive through Kansas. We hit some high winds, ended up having to pull over, chill out for a little bit. It's a lot on the van that like I put on the top, like installed myself, did the screwing myself. So if something were to fly off in these high winds, it would be nobody's fault but my own. So we get to Wilson State Park in Kansas. What a gem.
What a gem.
What a gem. Roll the drone footage, hit the music. I mean, as you can see, we're not just saying it was a gem. It was really
special.
nice. It was
really special. We came out, the air was just a little crisper, there was water in front of us, and we kind of felt like, okay, we are doing something that we love. We are doing something that we want to do. Yeah, there's challenges, but like if our environment is more or less on our side, then yeah, we might be able to thrive in this lifestyle.
Little bluff. Allie and Sully camped like overlooking the reservoir. The paddleboard we got out, and it was just great. Really good experience there.
Great.
So that jazzed us up a little bit, and then we decided we were gonna make it a push. We decided we're gonna drive about 5.5, 6 hours. I'm losing
John Martin
Reservoir, just as you enter into Colorado. So as you know, you get Kansas to Colorado, not too much changes right there in the beginning, but stopped at an awesome playground for the kids just before we got there. Got down. Reservoir again was really cool. Wasn't as great as the Kansas one, but had the showers, had the bathrooms, safe place to stay the night.
Yeah.
Just a massive amount of bugs. So we busted out the head bug screens. Roll the footage. Bugs. I don't even see any bugs around here. They have this amazing head net, and yes, it is actually for mosquitoes. The head mosquito net. Bam. Last minute pickup, because I was watching some videos on the YouTubes, and they said this was a must for any buggy areas. Now I am so glad we purchased them. Yes, they look crazy and ridiculous, but I have no ego. I'm over 35 years old. Who cares what I look like? It's about function. It's about function. Maybe it's not hardcore enough, but again, that's ego. Who cares about hardcore? Got my long sleeves on, got my pants on, got my head net on, and now we don't need a huge structure netted in because we can't fit that in the van. We just need these, 4 of them, so we can all be out and not worry about the bugs and the mosquitoes and getting eaten alive. And then from there we packed up and we knew it was coming. It was time. We were going to try to make the push. Yeah. So before we actually got to the Great Sand Dunes, we ended up at a really cool spot because we pushed the journey up a little bit. At a really cool spot called Zapatas.
It was a first come, first served site, like up about 3 miles up in elevation, real bumpy, underdeveloped roadway, but just overlooking. It was perfect.
We slept at 9,000 feet of elevation. It was cool. The temperament was cool. Temperature was cool. And we actually had like 15 to 20 minutes in the van to ourselves. No, we didn't. No, cool. Not that.
No, we're not there yet.
Literally just the time in the van to ourselves to clean up or do whatever we had to do while the kids were playing with Grandy and DP.
Yes.
So it felt like we kind of arrived.
We made it.
We are here. But we're here. Allie cried. We got here. I wish I had that on
Feels
film.
so good. Feels so good.
We are at Zapata Falls.
Zapata.
We are at Zapata Falls. And we are here with Allie's parents. And that just brings us so much joy. We just listened to a podcast on the way here about human connection.
Yeah,
so maybe something.
Right, so we were feeling vulnerable. We're filming!
5:30. Sorry, I'll leave that in there.
Just asking us what time we want dinner, so we're happy.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're here. Dinner's at 5:30. So anyway, I want to just capture the emotional feels of the first getting here. It feels good. It's also amazing landscape as we will show you a little bit of coming in. And just kind of what we envisioned it being.
The whole time, like we rode through the mountains, through the ridges, we saw the landscape, we got up in elevation, the windows were cracked, like the air felt a little crisper. So we're 11 miles outside of the Great Sand Dunes National Park where we'll be heading into tomorrow. But my parents found this first come, first serve campsite. It's Zapata Falls Campgrounds, and yeah, it was just like the quintessential what you would hope a reunion would be. Kids screaming, ran into their arms, and it feels really nice to be here.
Yes, it feels awesome.
Yeah.
The van made it, we made it.
Yeah.
The middle of the country is for the birds.
No offense.
No offense.
Time to exhale though a little bit, so.
I'm sure we have some Kansas followers, and we loved it out there at the park in Kansas. So we made it to the Great Sand Dunes the next day, and that was our 8 or 9 day journey across the country. We learned a ton. We're beyond grateful to be out here. We're excited to continue to learn, update you guys. We're gonna try to release a video a week. So if you have any ideas, just drop something in the comments below. And if you wanna support, subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Peace.